How's the pit?
I'll give a countdown.
It's long, 55 seconds.
Can you take it hot?
No.
No.
No, hell no.
It's right after a 180-degree turn.
GCAV, do you want to do the countdown since
All
you're...
right.
Yeah, I'll do a countdown.
Okay.
All right, welcome to Long Beach. I'm Over30. This is for the race number 8 here, season number 6 of the Forza Winter Series here at Over30Clan.com. Really appreciate you checking us out. We're going to be pretty much diving right into the race momentarily. We're just finishing setting up the order and such. We'll be going very shortly here. So again, thank you for joining us. Let me just make sure I have this on. Oh shit! You know, one sec, Black. You know what it likes to do? It likes to take me into windowed mode.
Okay.
For some strange, like, why do they have to constantly change settings? It just drives me nuts. Okay, we're good to go. Thanks.
Yep.
Sorry about that. Just want to make sure that everything is ready to go. Sounds good. Fantastic. We're good to go. All right. So if you haven't played on Long Beach, it's actually a pretty quick track. It's about a minute 41. It's kind of a pretty high time, actually. So we'll probably see minute 32, minute 31 lap times. It's a fairly compact track. A very, very technical turns. Some really scary hairpins and complicated kind of weaving turns, but we'll definitely take a look in just a second. But a very quick map and very small map. So as always, we are doing the initial pit lap, followed by I'm just going to check really. Hey, Black.
Yeah.
We might need to back out really quick. I'm showing like 20 FPS. All my Microsoft changed my settings between me playing it an hour ago to now.
Jesus. Okay.
All right,
No
we
problem.
can do that.
Like,
That'll
are
give
you
me time to let the
kidding
dogs
me?
out.
I'm so very sorry, guys. I just want to
Alright,
get
I'm
it
running
before
into
they.
you then.
Yeah.
Demo derby time.
I want to keep my legs. Black will break my legs if I ever have a problem with this ever again. So.
Woo! I'm winning.
Whee!
You're back in
And that's it. So that was the quickest race in Over30Clan history. Appreciate you guys for checking us out. If you have any questions, please email blackdeath at.
Isn't he AOC now? Alternate of color or whatever that option was.
All right, during the intermission, I'm gonna let the dogs out. I'll be back in a few.
Intermission. Call that intermission?
Here's how I've been
For
drinking. I'm
fuck's
like,
sake,
"Go to the
guys.
bathroom."
I really need to stop working on Saturday mornings. This is like this extending me and being able to go to bed. Fuck.
Tell Ray what time you get up.
I'll be getting up at 5:30. I can be there by 6 or 6:30. I should say.
Ugh.
Fuck that.
Sucks for you.
Well, you know what the shitty part is two things. I get up earlier and start sooner than I do my normal job, and I don't have to do this job. This is my second job. I just do it to make extra cash.
2 jobs.
Yeah, I just do this to make extra cash. Yeah, this is my old job that I left to go to my current job, and they are still in need of work, so I just decided to help
Oh,
them out.
okay. I thought
Yeah.
it was if it's voluntary, then that's on you.
Yeah, dude. This money is it goes into my savings, or I use it to pay off something.
Okay.
That's all it's used for. It's not like
That's
I
respectable then than just being a doormat and doing whatever they want 6 days a week.
Oh no, they're paying for it.
Right. Nice.
Why did it drop to 45 frame? What are you doing, Microsoft? What are you doing to me?
going to the Super
Beer,
Bowl.
beer, 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 beer.
Dustin's still in here,
Beer.
and he's not racing.
Beer.
God,
Come on, just race. Plug the wheel in.
No.
Race with your
Why?
keyboard.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm getting my satisfactory on.
not
Hopefully I got a
satisfied until
one-sided
you on this.
keyboard.
What?
Huh? We ready to go, or what's going on here?
Oprah's messing with his stuff.
Yes, I think I'm ready to go finally. Sorry. As you guys were, messing up your pace lap, as always.
It's okay. I lagged out though. There.
Black shifted in reverse. Brenda.
Hey, Trey, thanks for the subscribe there. I'm just fixing a technical small issue here. All right, cool. So I'll let you guys do your thing. And I'll see you on the flip side, and pray to God this freaking works.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
If not,
If not, then, yeah.
Try Buddha.
All right, see you guys. So, sorry about that little mix-up there. Apologize to everyone. Microsoft decided to change the settings on me from an hour and a half ago when I was loading this all up in the pre-race with everyone. So, sorry about that. But yes, so to recap, we are on Long Beach today, which is actually a pretty short track, but a minute 32, minute 33 is what we're going to see for most of the top drivers. We might see some people hit like a minute 31. Pretty quick track. It is a 21 lap race, 1 pace lap, 20 normal laps. It does require 1 single pit stop. We are doing a simulation for tire damage, collision, and fuel. So keep an eye out for that. Very quick track. Very technical track. Has a lot of very tight turns. Especially there's pretty much a 180 degree hairpin and a couple other really tough 270 degree turns. And 360 degree hairpins. So it'll be pretty exciting to watch. Very tight track, so it's going to be difficult to pass. And we'll be getting started very shortly. So here we are. So this is the pace lap, as I mentioned. And it appears that everything's working just fine. Fantastic. So if you look here at the Long Beach on the map, you can see that yeah, so not a whole lot of turns, but the turns are very technical. So we're coming up to this almost this roundabout turn, which is actually very tricky, very difficult to slow down quite considerably for it. And definitely you see some cars take the curb there. Followed by again some very tight right-hand turns, like 270 degree turns. Pretty much every turn in this map is incredibly tight and fast turn. So let's back up a little bit so we can see. So we have GKev out in front, Lad in second, Vendatu in third, followed by Mendaxian, Black Death in fifth, Centurio Butts in sixth, Delray in seventh, Guns, who is new to the Over30 clan, in eighth. So this is his first race debut. And we're accelerating towards the finish of the pace lap a little bit. The pace lap is starting to speed up just a tad bit. Seems like we might have a fairly clean pace lap for the first time in Over30 clan history. Thanks again, Trey, for the 8 months of support. Appreciate that with Twitch Prime subscription. And that last turn being one of the most tight turns in the entire race. And that's at 270 degree. And we're off. So GKev out in front, Lad in second, and seeing immediate moves from Black Death, or Vendaxian, I should say, who's looking to get ahead early in this race. This is the one of the toughest turns because you're at completely full speed after that straightaway. A little bit of rubbing between Vendaxian and GKev. We're going to back it up just a tiny bit here so we can get a bit of a view of the field as we're navigating that roundabout turn. As you can see, it is very tight. GKev still holding on. We're currently following Lad in fourth. Vindaxi right on his heels. Very tight track as we see Lad trying to take the outside of Vendetta, not quite, or inside of Vendetta, not quite able to do that. This track definitely benefits from hard braking and high acceleration cars. And that's Black Death that we saw there, poking his nose on the left-hand side of Lad. Looking to make a possible move there. So one full lap down, we have GKev on front. We're going to just pull up here just a little bit to Vendado so we can get more of a view of the front cars. GKev is fairly far out in front now. Vindaxian hot on his hill. GKev sporting a 134, so very low end of what's capable in this track from what we've seen from the pre-race. We were seeing 132s and 131s. So... but consistency is the key. This is a very easy track to accidentally brake a little bit late and slam your car into the wall, pretty much completely disabling it. As all the turns are very, very tight. Check back with these guys in just a moment. Let's back up to Delray, or Centurio Butts currently in 6th place. One of the stronger drivers in the Over 30 clan here, on the heels of Black Death. And Lad in 4th place. Black Death just supporting the 4-wheel truck. Speedy little beast. I was playing that a little bit last week. Tuned very well. It's actually one of the kind of the surprise cars. It was meant as initially as a gag, but it worked out really well. So Black decided to take it tonight. I think it was he's getting some pretty incredible lap times with it as well. So it appears we have some action here. Vindaxi making a move, possibly, on GKev. So, only a few car lengths behind. GKev currently in 1st place. Vindaxi in about 1:07 behind him. Or 1.7 seconds behind him. GKev driving a very good race so far. There's Centurio Butts in 7th place here. Looking like he's trying to take Delray on the outside. Hits the wall, loses a little bit of paint. Unable to keep up with that acceleration of Delray. You know, the lines are very difficult. Very difficult lines in this track, so not a lot of opportunity to pass on the turns. Turbo's trying to maximize every inch on those walls. Make sure he has enough room to make that turn at the maximum speed. The drivers are spreading out a tad bit. Black Death appears to be making a move for 4th place, passing Lad here on the inside. So just barely getting past Lad here. Lad catching up and pulling away. So Lad able to stay in front of Black Death as they approach that very difficult hard left turn. Take the map out here so we get a better view of the track. Actually, let's go ahead and put that back up. There we are. And it appears Centurion Butts is still on Del Rey's heels here, but unable to pass him. And they're both falling behind due to this this fight a little bit. We have Guns here. Let's go flip over to Guns. So he's the newer driver on the in the Black Death, driving the with the Konami sticker there. Konami sticker. This is very first race with the Over30Clan, taking that turn just a little bit too sharp. Trying to cut that just a bit too much there. Manages to keep on the track. Check back with him in just a momentarily. Del Rey. Centurion Butts was managed to pass Del Rey, so Del Rey is now in 7th place. And Centurion Butts managed to make up a position in the last lap. As the Centurion Butts obviously having much better braking than Del Rey, manages to get smashed in the ass by Del Rey and pushed off the track. Definitely, definitely an accidental brake check there. Not too worse for her. We still have a fair amount of laps left, but because of the technical nature of this track, it is very difficult to pass. Black Death in 5th place. Still hot on the heels of Lad. Oh, so we have someone opted to pit, I guess, to give him a little bit of time and space. 14 laps to go. So we are seeing some incredible laps, actually. Vindaxi with a 130. 130.7, which is probably the fastest lap time I've seen in the past few days on this track. Watching some of the members practice leading up to this race. So Vindaxian is the lap leader. Vindaxian is still keeping up with GKev, looking for, I guess, the opportunity to pass. So Vindaxian and GKev have pulled out quite a bit now with 1/3 of the race finished, going in lap number 8. Alright, we do have some penalties up on the board, nothing too crazy. Half second, quarter second penalty. Vindaxian still holding the fastest lap of 1:30, GKev. Current race leader 1:31, which is a very competitive lap time. Consistency on the track is key. So GM and Vindaxian are pulling out quite a bit now. They have a quite incredible lead. Vindaxian is in 3rd, Lad in 4th, Black Death in 5th, Centurion Butts in 6th, Del Rey in 7th, and Guns lit back at the pack in 8th in his first debut race here at the Over30Clan. Still a contested first place. Vanassi not giving GKev any time and space, looking for that opportunity to take advantage of a mistake. As they come up to the first difficult left turn, which requires an incredible amount of braking. GKev losing a little bit of paint there on the outside of that turn. Vandaxian looking to possibly make a move. GKev blocking him. Alright, so we'll check back with these two in just a moment. So let's go ahead and see what Black Death is up to. So he's not too far behind here in 5th place. Still has an opportunity. Still sees 4th place in his sights. It's going to have to be a lot more aggressive. We were only 9 laps in. But again, this is a very short track. Daxton's still holding the best lap time at 1:30. So flip it over here to Ladd in 4th place. It's coming around that 270 degree, 360 degree hairpin turn. We just passed the pits on the right hand side, so the pits are actually directly after that very difficult, 360 degree turn. So it requires you to slow it right down and then cut over. So it is actually a very difficult pit to enter, just because of it being directly after that turn. Alright, so we have a few pits out of the way. Again, all the drivers are required to pit at least once during the race. We do have fuel simulation turned on, so some cars are incapable of making the entire range of the race. Drivers are free to choose whenever they wish to pit. The pit times on this track are incredibly long. I've heard upwards of 30 seconds. So Vandaxian, still contesting that first place position. Definitely within striking distance of GKev. GKev being very aggressive on that roundabout turn. So GKev and Vandaxian are both closing in on guns. We're about to just finishing up lap number 11, going to lap number 12, about halfway through the race today. So this will be an interesting moment. So we do have a driver exiting the pit. We also have Butts up in front, so we'll see if anything exciting happens during this little bit of a bunch-up. GKev is going to have to navigate passing guns, as well as Vandaxian, as GKev Hitting guns in the rear there, losing a lot of time. We're almost stalling out on that turn as he takes guns very wide on that turn. Vindaxian following suit. And being very careful. So they managed to get past guns with very limited amount of problems. GCAV still out in front, Vindaxian in second. We are starting to see a bit of a bunch up of the packs. We do have Vendetta here in third. He's also going to need to pass Del Rey. So Vendetta taking Del Rey here on the inside of that first left turn of the track. So Vendetta is in striking distance of first place. He's not that far behind, so we do have a competitive first and third. Lad in fourth, Black Death in fifth, also contested. Centurial Butts in sixth, pretty far back. Del Rey in seventh, and Guns in eighth, pretty spread out. So we do have a contest between fourth and fifth, and first, second, and third. So I'll flip over to Black Death here, as he's is catching up to Lad slowly. 8 laps to go, as we are now on lap number 13, almost lap number 14. If you're just joining us, we're on Long Beach. It's a pretty fast track. We are race number 8 here of season 6 of this winter series at Over30Clan.com. Appreciate you for joining us. It is a very tight track, very technical turns. We do have a competitive fourth and fifth here. We're watching Black Death. He's trying to catch up to Lad. Vindaxian out in front. GCAV, I think, opted to pit. So I don't think Vindaxian has actually pitted yet. Or maybe not pitted. I actually missed that. So I'm not sure if it was a pit or if it was some technical error from GCAV. I don't know, GCAV did decide to pit, so Vindaxian is now in first place. I believe he still has to pit at some point in the next 7 laps. We'll see what that does to change things up a little bit. Vendadu still in striking distance of first place as GCAV comes out of probably the slowest pits of any track that I can remember on Forza. Black Death in 5th place, still being very competitive with Lad, catching up to him. Now he's only about a car length or 2 behind, as they both trade paint with the wall. Vindaxian now sporting the best lap of 1:30 and current race leader. Black Death right on the tails of Lad here. Looking for that opportunity to pass. Black Death right on Lad's ass. So about 3/4 of the field have opted to pit. Only 6 laps remaining. Let's check in with Vendadu here, currently in first place. So I believe he is still the last driver to pit. Let's check his telemetry here and see what his fuel is currently at. So yeah, so 48.9% fuel, so he has not pitted yet. So we expect to see things change pretty dramatically once that pit has taken place. But Vindadu currently is in first place. Black Death still very hot on the heels of Lad here. Almost right up against him as they come to this very first turn. So we can see if Black Death is appearing to be much more aggressive. Just looking for that opportunity. Very, again, tight track, so it's very difficult to make a passing move at any point in this track. And the turns are very difficult, so not a lot of room for cutting in and taking a turn a little bit more aggressively because there's not much room for error. So we'll see if Black Death manages to make it past Lad at some point. Lad is doing an excellent job at keeping Black at bay. Oops. Who did we flip over to? So we flipped over to Guns. Early in 8th place here as he navigates that first very difficult turn. So I believe all the top 3 have now fully pitted. As GKev is coming around the final turn, we'll see if he's able to catch up to Vindadu, who's coming out of his pit right now. But as you can see, the pits here, you exit so super slow. So my assumption here is that GKev and Vindaxian will both very easily pass. Yep. Alright, so after the vast majority of the field is pitted, we currently have GKev in first, Vindaxian in second, Vindadu in third, still very competitive between the 3. Lad in fourth, Black Death in fifth, Black Death being very aggressive on Lad. Ontario Butts in sixth, Ori in seventh, and Guns in eighth. Let's back it up to third place here, Vindadu, who has Vindaxian in his sights. So, a lot can happen, but only 5 laps remain. Vindaxian looking like he catch up to GKev, trading a little paint with the wall there, falling back a tad bit. GKev with a minute 75 penalty, actually, so this can be a very interesting finish after you take penalties in consideration. Vindaxian still supporting the best time at 1:30. So Vindaxian is around 2 seconds behind, so if he's able to make up some of that time, he might be able to win based on the penalties. So it'll be interesting to see what the top 3 finish looks like after we take into consideration all the penalties that occurred during the race. Black Death managed to finally pass Lad. Lad falling back quite a bit. So Black Death was being very aggressive last lap. We ended up, unfortunately, missing that pass. We were looking for it for the entire race. But with 4 laps to remain, I'm wondering if Black Death can now make up possible 3rd place, although it'd be very difficult with the amount of track left to race today. So Vindaxian is right now on the heels of GKev, looking to pass him on the outside. Seems he does have a bit of the acceleration. Got the jump on him, so Vindaxian now in first place, trading a little bit of paint with GKev as they are fighting to the death for this first place. GKev manages to take the outside and still manage to get ahead of Vindaxian. So Vindaxian's lead little bit short-lived there. GCAV bouncing right back, being very aggressive on that turn. We're down now to 3 3/4 laps remaining. So if you want to check us out, we can find us at over30clan.com. We're a clan dedicated to the older generation of gamers, the pre-internet humans, if you will. We play on all consoles. We have a few thousand members, so feel free to check us out again at over30clan.com. So GCAV still managing to be in first place here. Lap number 19. So 3 laps remaining. Vindaxian again looking to be very aggressive on the inside of GCAV. On this turn, GCAV was managed to bounce back last lap on this particular turn. So we're just about to finish up lap number 19, so 2 laps to go. GCAV still out in front, Vindaxian in second, Vindatu in third, Black Death in fourth, Lan in fifth, Centurion Butts in sixth, Delray in seventh, and Guns in eighth. We may see another lap come out of the top 2 here on Guns, which could provide some interesting end of race drama. As Guns hits the wall there and slows down considerably. So GCAV and Vindaxian are both going to have to navigate around Guns. As GCAV opts to take the outside here. Guns giving them time and space. GCAV managed to take advantage of that and pull it a little bit out in front. As we come around the last lap of lap number 20, we are approaching our final lap, so we will go ahead and flip it over to GCAV here. He's currently in first place. Watch his final victory lap, although Vindaxian is still within striking distance. You're not too far behind, only a few car lengths behind, but will he have enough time with only 1 lap remaining on this very tight technical track? Be very aggressive if he wants to try to claim that first place finish from GCAV. GCAV driving a very consistent race. So GCAV is sporting a 1.1 and 3/4 second penalty. Vindaxian is running a very clean race, so Vindaxian closes within a second and 3/4 of GCAV. He will claim first place. So we'll have to see how fast or how close he is at the end here. See, he's driving a very clean race. So we're coming up to the final straightaway. Well, second last straightaway. We do have a small straightaway after the final turn. Going into the slalom part of the track. These are three very complicated turns. Back to back, left, right, left, right. There's a hairpin at the end. So Vindaxian, in order to win, will have to close within minute 75, or sorry, 1.75 seconds as we close. So Vindaxian is only 0.76 seconds behind. So Vindaxian will take first place based on when you factor in the penalties. GKev will be in second place. Vindaddy will cross the line here in third. Or has crossed the line in third. Black Death in fourth. Lad in fifth. Centuro Butts in sixth as he's finishing up his final few turns here. Delray in a very comfortable seventh, and Butts in eighth again, or Guns in eighth, I should say, his first race with the Over30Clan. His debut. Let's go ahead and check in with the drivers as we finish, as we watch the last two drivers cross the finish line.
Coming off the
three penalties.
second straight. Yeah.
Yeah, so Ven beat GKev by a second, right? Because of the penalties? Is that what I...
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, penalties will kill you, man.
No, by
0.9?
By half a second.
Well, by half a second, okay.
Total time, 33:26.
Okay, yeah.
33:26, 8:23.
Damn.
Is that the first time we've had that? First place becomes second?
No, that happened last lap.
Yeah.
Or the last race.
I made a move on Kev too, and I wasn't able to hold it. He held the outside, and both went into the first turn. That was good, Kev. Nice job.
Yeah, no, I actually caught that. So yeah, it was very aggressive. You took first place. You took first place for a few seconds, and then GKev was all over you. He was like, no. Anyway, he took the outside on that really difficult turn too.
Yeah.
I put so much pressure on Lad. I was like,
oh, you were eating it, yeah. Oh, you're all over him.
I had one opportunity, and I took it, and I was lucky enough to pull it off without causing any damage.
Okay. I haven't, no. Oh, no, he's up in my room. He was up there with him when I was first light down.
Yeah. Practically did.
It was funny though. It was like some turns I would dominate, and a couple turns he would do better on, and then in the straightaway I'd dominate the first half, and he'd dominate the second half. So it was really, really even.
Yeah, at one point you were literally pressing up against him. It seemed. His bumper was like caving in.
Escorting him with your GTFO bumper, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give him a rolling start, give him a little encouragement from behind.
Hey, nice muffler, man.
It was the best time I could get from all the cars I drove, dude. Yeah, I tried, and then suddenly I tried this goofy thing, and I'm like, whoa, I blew the time off. Clock. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll try this.
I can't believe the Shelby wasn't better. You can get better times with that.
Couldn't even come close. Like, I couldn't break below 132 in the Shelby.
I mean, I managed to get 130, 135 with Black's car, and I mean, I've raced like 100 laps total in this game, so it's a pretty easy car to drive. I'm surprised you actually didn't do better in this, Black. You disappoint me.
You know, everyone did so consistent ahead of me. It's a problem. I was really hoping for some wrecks, especially Vindaddy. I thought for sure he's gonna kiss some tires and spin out.
Me and Kev were pushing hard, but Kev made a few mistakes, but he recovered. He was able to recover from them, so I tip my hat to him. That was good.
There's a couple little bumps and grinds, and
Good tune.
Thanks.
one day Vindaxian is going to snap. Something inside of him is going to get super competitive, and he's just going to mess with everyone's tunes. You're just going to assume that he gave you a good tune,
He's already started doing it a little bit. Start paying attention to everybody's rims.
Yeah, some shitty rims on there.
Oh
He
no.
put the ugliest rims that he can think of. The rims on the 70 Vet are, that's a shame.
You caught me.
Trying to make y'all look like fools.
Performance, but
No, it was a good race. It's a very fast technical track race, so it's not a lot of places where you can actually pass someone. That's one of the problems.
Oh my
It's very
God.
tight.
We are only 5 points away for the top 5 spots, or top 4 spots.
Wow, we really reined it in, eh?
has it happened before in previous seasons?
Everybody wants that little figurine.
Yeah.
I heard there's solid gold this year. We've had a great year.
Give us a good track for next week.
Yes, please.
Well, which one do you want? I mean, I can rig this. I have no shame.
Are we approaching the end of the season or what?
North Light.
3 left.
I think Monza would be a
Or
good
4.
track.
9, 10, 11, 12. 4
Oh,
left.
Monza.
I mean, I take cash donations. Just saying.
Yeah.
Wheel
Bits in the
picker.
Do you accept toilet paper as currency?
Mhm.
I have something.
Actually, I would be stupid not to.
Probably sell it for a shitload of money.
Right? Sell aftermarket in little baggies.
I was talking to this guy on the phone today. He said his son has it.
Oh shit, really? That
Has,
sucks.
coronavirus.
Oh boy.
I'm
All right,
surprised
so here.
because they said children a lot of times are just carriers.
He said his son is like in his 20s as a family.
Oh,
and shit.
okay.
All right, so we're just going to omit any selection that we've already done before, rather than me taking them out. So here we go. Spin, spin, spin. Watkins Glen, which is not a racetrack.
Nice.
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 Sounds like an actor. I was like, wait a second. Watkins Glen.
Track. That's a
So your
really
band
cool track.
cars are the 02 Camaro, the Honda S2000, and the Subaru BRZ.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Oh shit! How do I donate?
There should be buttons.
PayPal.me/Over30Clan or
Oh, like I went to
subscribe to-
Twitch and the
Oh, you
Twitch app, and there's like nothing.
Amazon
Below.
Prime? Give us your Amazon Prime sub.
Yep, I did.
I already did that.
And we appreciate it. But we need more.
Yeah. But you know what? You're not doing enough.
Well, shit, I was
How does
gonna
that work?
donate like $10, but I
There's
can't fucking
a-
find it.
Underneath the video, there should be like a whole bunch of like banners and stuff in text that you see that Black Death put. There's the big button that says donate. You can click on that. I'm not sure how it looks on mobile, but you should be able to find it if you're so inclined. But cool. So I'll sign us off. But thank you to race guys.
Thank you, Oprah,
Thank
for
you.
coming in last minute and saving a day.
Yeah, right. Just swooping in last second. It's my plan all along. But no, we'll catch you guys later. So,
All right, buddy. Thank you.
See ya.
Yeah.
all right, so thanks guys for joining us on race number 8 here at the Over30Clan.com. So please feel free to check us out next week. We're here at 11 o'clock every Friday for the next 3 Fridays until this is over. So we do have 3 races remaining. Want to check us out? We're Over30Clan.com. Again, a clan dedicated to the older generation of gamers, 30 years or older. Feel free to apply, and we'll hopefully see you guys here next week. So again, my name's O'Prey. Thank you for joining us, and good night. So I find the button here, very anticlimactic.